Alright, I'm excited to ride today after we dust off the old bike. I gave spiders plenty of time to build some webs on my motorcycle here. I'm not going to let spiders live on my motorcycle, but I do think spiders are just so neat. I found this one here. It caught this bee right here in the web, wrapped it up. Now it's hauling it up top, up a good couple of feet to stow it away for later. Wow. I think this is a female yellow garden spider. Wow, look at her go up there. I'm not speeding this footage up at all. It's really that fast. Amazing. And now she's wrapping the bee up more, giving it some extra layers of security there. Look at that deft speed and coordination she's using to wrap the bee up. I'm looking forward to getting a newer iPhone for better critter pictures. But yeah, I think it's been a little over 6 weeks since I last took the bike out. I didn't take it out for a while because we were waiting on this little guy, baby Wolfgang, to make his appearance. He is 3 weeks old today, and we are very grateful to have a healthy baby and healthy mama. We put him in his state park ranger outfit today because I am going to Mount Mitchell State Park. I'll probably see another state park ranger when I get to Mount Mitchell later today. This house ahead on the right and the house there on the left, both are still uninhabitable nearly a year after Hurricane Helene. We are now turning onto Micaville Loop, which is also NC Highway 80. Normally, I would take this way and turn to the right up here. That's the sign for Mount Mitchell, going up Highway 80 South. Highway 80 South intersects with the Blue Ridge Parkway, and you would turn left onto the Parkway and head south, and you could get to Mount Mitchell, but that section of the Parkway is still closed. You can, however, still access Mount Mitchell now using the Parkway just coming up from the south side. We're going to get on the Parkway at the Fairview access and then ride up the Blue Ridge Parkway northbound, up past Craggy Gardens all the way until we get to Mount Mitchell. That section of the Parkway closed after Hurricane Helene and has been closed for nearly a whole year now, about 11.5 months, but it just opened yesterday on September 15th. You can see on the right there's some excavators working to remove all that sand that was washed up from the South Toe River. We turned right near Spruce Pine off of Highway 19 onto 226, approaching the intersection of the Blue Ridge Parkway now. We'll ride up here just a minute and check it out. The last time I was here, about 6 weeks ago, it was open going left in the northbound direction, but it was closed. They had a gate set up right here going south, and it looks like that is open today. Neat. Well, I don't know how far it is open in this direction. I'll definitely have to get back out here and explore this until the next gate. But this isn't my goal today. I know that I can't get to Mount Mitchell going this way, so I'm going to go ahead and turn around and keep going down Highway 226. There's the sign for Crabtree Falls, 8 miles, and Asheville, 57 miles. Now we are back on Highway 226. We bared to the left just before Little Switzerland. This section of pavement that we're riding over now, you can barely tell is a different color. That was, I'd guess, about a 50-yard section of asphalt that had been completely washed out by Helene. Now we have turned off of Highway 226 onto Highway 70 and then rode here into Old Fort. There's a sign by that White House that says you can buy plants there. Coming into downtown Old Fort, some nice artwork. So from here, the quickest way to get onto the Parkway would be to get on Interstate 40 and go westbound, and then get off at the Swannanoa exit, and there's a Parkway access right there. But I'm going to do a little bit different route today. I have a meeting in Bat Cave today, so we're going to go up Old Fort Road and then onto Highway 9 into Bat Cave. Then we'll get on Highway 74A and go through Gerton and Fairview, and then get on the Parkway access at Fairview. This section of Highway 9 past Schumont Road has been closed to non-local traffic for almost a whole year now. You can see on the right all those loads of big stone that have been dumped. That's happened in just the last few days. I was here when all those were dumped, but it's to build up a new lane for Highway 9 and a retaining wall. You can see the old Highway 9 right here. Lots of concrete and rebar, another dump truck of big rocks. Now we are approaching where Highway 9 intersects with Highway 74A. If we were to go left, we could go down into Chimney Rock. I'm going to make another video soon that goes into more detail on what's happening in Bat Cave and Schumont Road and Chimney Rock, but this video is supposed to be more about the Parkway that just opened in Mount Mitchell. I'm not going to show a lot from the trip there. If you want to skip forward to the Parkway, I'll have that time stamped, but I just kind of want to show you how I'm getting to the Parkway today. There's the sign for Bear Wallow Provision Store. It's a little grocery store that they sometimes would have live music and neat little events. I remember there was a lady who breeds butterflies that let them go here.
Aren't they beautiful?
That's amazing. Wow.
It's alright, they'll
Did you see it?
they'll go. And it's alright, just watch them on the ground. If you want, you can stick your finger underneath their feet and put it on your shirt or whatever.
Just fabulous, isn't it?
Is it
Got one on your ear.
Like, okay, that's fine if it's that. I was just hoping it wasn't a yellow jacket.
That's okay, buddy.
Oh, cool. But yeah, this building looked pretty good after the storm. It's just been fairly recently that it was torn down. But I mean, so many buildings kind of looked fine from the outside, but just the water damage was just too much. It would be better off tearing down and starting over. Like this here with that was the Gerton Community Center on the right. Again, it looked okay after the storm, but once you really look into the details of it, it's a lot. I've been meaning for so long to stop and read what this informational sign says. Finally remembered to stop today. General William J. Palmer, Quaker warrior, Stoneman's Raid. On March 24th, 1865, Union General George Stoneman led 6,000 cavalrymen from Tennessee into southwestern Virginia and western North Carolina to disrupt the Confederate supply line by destroying sections of the Virginia and Tennessee Railroad, the North Carolina Railroad, and the Piedmont Railroad. He struck at Boone on March 28th, headed into Virginia on April 2nd, and returned to North Carolina a week later. Stoneman's raid ended at Asheville on April 26th, the day that Confederate General Joseph E. Johnston surrendered to Union General William T. Sherman near Durham. Colonel William J. Palmer, commanding one of General George Stoneman's brigades, about 1,300 cavalrymen of the 15th Pennsylvania, 12th Ohio, and 10th Michigan regiments, made his headquarters here at Sherrill's Inn on April 27, 1865. The Sherrill family fed the officers, and one of the daughters is said to have shaken her stocking over the eggs as they cooked and declared, "Those Yankees can eat the dust off my feet and think it's pepper." Palmer was brevetted, temporarily promoted to brigadier general, probably while at Sherrill's Inn. Promotion gave him the command of 2 brigades, already in Asheville, that had participated in the pilgrimage there on April 26. A Quaker warrior, Palmer had joined the army as a way to express his abolitionist views. Later awarded the Medal of Honor for his role in defeating a larger Confederate force at Red Hill, Alabama on January 14, 1865, without losing a man. According to tradition, an underground railroad operated here and ran through Hickory Nut Gap. Local residents helped Union sympathizers, slaves, and Federal soldiers escaping from prisons in Columbia, South Carolina, and Salisbury, North Carolina, to travel to Union-controlled Tennessee. Our march today was through the grandest scenery we have looked on during our term of service. We went up through Hickory Nut Gap in the mountains along the Broad River up to its source. Towering above us, almost to the clouds, were the precipitous crags of the Hickory Mountains, and at high falls the water drops 300 feet from the summit. It was so imposing that the usual chat of the riders was hushed as they gazed with awe on the. As we rode along, we plucked the fragrant magnolia from the forest trees. Our wish was to stay longer with it, but that could not be done, and we went on up to the top, where there were plenty of forage found. And that is a quote from Captain Harry Wieland, 15th Pennsylvania Cavalry. All right, we are finally at the Fairview Blue Ridge Parkway access point, just a few miles away from Asheville. We will take a left going in the north direction towards the Folk Art Center and eventually Craggy Gardens and Mount Mitchell. There's the sign for the Visitors Center and Parkway headquarters. Craggy Gardens, 18 miles, Roanoke, Virginia, 267. No water at Craggy Gardens Center. I guess they'll probably have some portable toilets set up. There's the sign for Black Mountain. We'll probably get off of that Parkway exit when we come back. I see evidence of a landslide there on the right, and here on the left, if I remember correctly, that was kind of an elevated, sort of steep, grassy hill, but it looks like they're trying to make a better parking area for that. A whopper of a landslide there on the left. It doesn't look like it actually washed the road out, but that was for sure a huge pile of dirt covering the road. This one here, you can tell this is all new asphalt, so I think this whole section of road got washed down the mountain. Looks great now, though. These are the very first hints of the upcoming fall leaf changing season. We really missed that last year because at the end of September, Helene just knocked all the leaves off of the tree, but hopefully I will make up for that and get lots of good, colorful leaf changing footage this year. This sign says that picnic area on the left is closed, the Craggy Gardens Visitor Center is ahead, and the Parkway is closed up ahead. Here we are at the Craggy Visitors Center. It has rained today, so it smells incredibly fresh out. Just a perfect temperature, very clean smelling air, and this mist and fog going around. I mean, riding motorcycle up here is kind of a surreal experience. Here we are at the Graybeard Mountain Overlook, elevation 5,365 feet, elevation here 5,592. In Montreat, North Carolina, kind of close to Black Mountain, there's a trail called the Graybeard Trail. I guess you can hike up and get to that mountain. And I know also from Montreat you can hike all the way up to Mount Mitchell. I know my grandfather-in-law did that a number of times. I have not done that, but I would expect the Graybeard Trail might be involved if you're going to hike from Montreat up to Mount Mitchell. Alright, well this is the end of the road. Parkway closed, they got a fence built and everything. So we will turn around here. We just passed the sign for Mount Mitchell just a little ways back. So we'll turn around and go on up to the highest peak east of the Mississippi. This is the Ridge Junction Overlook, elevation 5,160. And now entering the world-famous Mount Mitchell State Park, just opened yesterday after being closed for 11 and a half months due to Hurricane Helene. The park is open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Here's a sign coming up that says, "Welcome to Yancey County." We started out this morning in Yancey County, just went a really long way to get back around to Yancey County. parking. People park down here once the top gets full, and I've seen cars parked down here many times. There on the left is the Balsam Nature Trail. I have come in on that trail when hiking from Burnsville before. This is the only place that I remember seeing a NC Scenic Byway End sign. Mount Mitchel is a registered natural landmark. This site possesses exceptional value from 1980. Yep, definitely exceptional value. Good old Yancey County, my county. I'm sure that Tesla is pretty fun to drive on these mountain roads, but no way I would trade my bike for a Tesla. Elisha Mitchell died in an attempt to prove that this was the tallest mountain around. His grave is at the top. The Old Mitchell Trailhead, Mountains to Sea Trail. I've hiked up to the top of Mount Mitchell from several different places. I think maybe 4 or 5 different places, and I believe I used this trail to get up at one time, possibly from Pensacola, North Carolina, if I remember correctly. We are at the highest place you can be anywhere east of the Mississippi at 6,684 feet. These signs are neat. They kind of help you know what you're looking at from the view up here. There's Big Butt. I made a video once about hiking Big Butt, so you can see that from here. Big Butt is a really great hike. I love that one. I made a video about it. And then this view is looking to the north. There you can see Burnsville. That's where we started out this morning. Here we're looking towards Mount Craig. There's a hike off of Highway 80 near Burnsville. If you take up, you can hike over Mount Craig on your way to get to the peak of Mount Mitchell. And looking to the south, Rumbling Bald and Chimney Rock. I've made videos about both of those places. I was actually in Chimney Rock today too, but I'm going to talk about that in a different video. And here, Elisha Mitchell's body is buried. Well, I guess buried isn't really the right word. I think buried means under the ground, but he is in this above-ground tomb under some rocks and concrete. I talk about his story and history a good bit in discovering Mount Mitchell and the debates that he went through to prove it was the tallest mountain around. I talk about that in a Mount Mitchell hiking video. The commissary trail is closed. Well, it's been a great day up here, but it is time for me to head back towards Burnsville. If the Parkway wasn't closed where it is, it wouldn't take me long at all. I would be back before dark. But I'm going to have to find a different, much longer way to get back to Burnsville. Alright, we are in Swannanoa, kind of between Asheville and Black Mountain. I took the exit that's further east than Fairview, the Tunnel Road Parkway exit. Now we are getting into Black Mountain. I'm going to have to ride on the interstate for a little while down Old Fort Mountain. I'm going to stop and take a little break here at the Hillman's Brewery and Restaurant in Old Fort. I've been on the bike for about 10 hours today, so I needed a little break and a snack. I always enjoy stopping by here. It's a really lovely place. The staff were talking about how there was several feet of mud from the hurricane they had to clean out before reopening, but I'm glad they were able to reopen. Alright, leaving Old Fort now, and I think I'm going to take Highway 80 back, just because that's the quickest route to get me back home, and at nighttime, the scariest thing is drivers in cars and trucks, and I know Highway 80 won't have many of those right now. Highway 80 is still closed to the public. I am local traffic. Tons of work has been going into this road, but it's still not open a year later. I definitely want to make a video of this in the daytime soon. There's a sign for Mount Mitchell going to the left and an upside down Parkway sign. Here we are where Highway 80 intersects with the Blue Ridge Parkway. We could go left, south to get to Mount Mitchell, but of course it is still closed right here too. But I just decided to come up here and check it out to come full circle. Well, I reckon it's time to get out of here before a Sasquatch or some hillbillies or something get me. But thank you so much for watching. May God bless. Peace be with you. And thanks for supporting North Carolina businesses and tourism.